BBC1 presents a new series of In at the Deep End. In the first programme, Paul Heine, a complete beginner at acting, sets out to play a brutal mercenary in Michael Caine's new film.
You get a bit more struggle into it rather than it being all in one position.
Yes. All right.
Do you know what I mean? Paul, come back a minute.
Paul, come back a minute. Grab my neck. Why are you... Ah! Can we do that?
Yeah. That's better.
The first of a new series, In at the Deep End, tonight at 9:25 on BBC1.
The 6 o'clock news on BBC1 follows the weather now from Jim Bacon.
Hello, well the question is when will it stop raining, and with a chart looking like this it's not going to stop for quite some time. For some northern areas the rain is still moving northwards, but there will be a change as the cold front arrives and the low itself is moving steadily northeastwards. The satellite picture, the very latest satellite picture, actually shows the low isn't quite where I thought it was. It does put the swirl of cloud just to the southwest of Ireland and a lot of cloud over most of the country. That's the wet and windy weather for tonight, but there is clearer weather now coming across Cornwall, and it's that clearer weather which will, I think, spread across most of England and Wales during the night. It's certainly going to be a mild, breezy night, and the rain will gradually ease off from, I think, most parts by the second half of the night, but there'll still be 1 or 2 showers, and later on some of those showers getting across to eastern areas. For the northern part of the country, dry in the far north of Scotland to begin with, but the rain reaching all areas, I think, by the end of the night. And then for tomorrow, well, I'm afraid, although there's going to be some bright weather, certainly a brighter day than it was today, it is still going to be pretty wet and windy at times, especially over Scotland and Northern Ireland, but also in some other western areas as well, where the showers will be heavy and prolonged, and some of those turning up in eastern parts later on in the day. Temperatures a little lower than today's as well. And that's it.
This is BBC1.
The 6 o'clock news from the BBC with Sue Lawley and Nicholas Witchell.
Good evening. The headlines at 6 o'clock. The pit deputies have called off their strike. Now the pressure to settle is on Arthur Scargill. But he said today he had no grounds for optimism.
We had a meeting with the TUC.
A Labour protest over the miners' strike brought proceedings to a halt in the European Parliament. 2 more holiday companies have collapsed. 10,000 people are stranded abroad. And South African troops have left the black townships, warning they'll be back if there's any more trouble. And later in the programme, the second of our reports from Ethiopia. Britain and other countries have now promised both food and money to fight the famine. But for many of the victims, the help will come too late.